Good morning, pal. What's up? Expecting this dump into this wombo combo from the 15-minute time frame. Peter, all kinds of slow. We'll see what that looks like. Maybe the stream deck. Hey, Mikey. Yo.
Can you share your screen here too?
Yeah, look. Right, so ideally we get a sweep into here and then we run. I might have just actually missed it there. We'll see. I don't want to really catch a falling knife, but the idea is if this wants to run from here, right? Just a quick one. If this wants to run from here, we've now dropped into our wombo. I like that we had a bit of structure coming in. This will be a tight stop, but if I'm right, then we go flying above the 19s and we probably trade up quite extensively, very, very quickly. If I'm wrong, then this is going to be a short trip. Right, very well could trade back down to the 60s. The idea is that this was the area that price made a major decision yesterday. Now my entry is not the best. Chatting away. It's probably much safer to wait for a 5-minute validation or at least a sweep failure, but I think that this is pretty solid. We'll see. Not exactly the blast that I wanted, at least so far, but gotta wait for the trade to at least validate itself. Let's actually make sure I'm in on all of these. I'm not. Wonderful. So this is actually just one account. I should be in on all of them. Awesome. Well, if this trades up any further, I don't want to end up with like a $4,000 day on one account. That'll be a nightmare for consistency. I'm actually gonna take that off there, and we'll revisit the trade. Concern being the imbalance and this manipulation leg. This is also a valid swing on our lower time frame. So if it's gonna fail here, and then you've got something quite similar to this if it wants to run, but equivalently possible that we have to go a little bit lower. Annoying that I didn't get all my accounts on it. You see the +1 now. It's a little bit different on Trade of 8. Still figuring that out, but I think the idea is still sound. So if I've messed that up, that's gonna be really, really annoying because I think that has a credible low of day. Right? So respect of this area if it wants to come back down into it. This is your SNDR that broke. That would be a lovely area to also look long if we're going to continue up, which it looks like we are. Yeah. Yep. You hit that, eh, Mikey? Or you're probably still riding? There's no reason to be out of this other than me messing up with my accounts.
Yeah, I'm in from 82.
Beautiful, buddy.
I'm gonna take one.
Yep. First 5 minutes, not the ideal place we like to trade, but if the setup hits, the setup hits. Just have to be aware of the volatility. You guys awake? Did we hit this?
I'm going to TP at 30.
Just take the first inside. This looks like it's...
Yeah.
This will be an important candle. And that's why I was kind of looking here. This is your change in order flow, your intermediate time frame as well. right? So you kind of got this going on. Bang. We could be looking at this, trades back in, maybe somewhere like here, and then we go. And again, the entire idea is inducement into here, right? We then ran everybody out into where? Our area of interest, also aligning with the Wombo combo. And it's lovely when we get a Wombo combo set up for 40 or 50 points, just to start the day. Just to start the day. You guys can't hear Mikey?
Yeah, I don't use.
Testing now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you say something, Mikey?
Yo.
Can you guys hear him now? Waiting for chat, waiting for chat, waiting for chat, waiting for chat. Sounds like on the other side of the room, maybe coming over your speakers. Lovely. Let's have a look. I thought we fixed this last time. Okay, try talking again, Mikey. Say something for him.
Hey. If this candle doesn't push, I'm gonna close that position right here.
Fair.
I want this to push it. If not, I'm out.
Can you guys hear him better now?
Let's go. Give me that 30.
Weird. You could be looking at the imbalance here as well for continuation. I'm sitting on my hands, you guys can see.
I gave up a few handles there.
Dynamic risk though, right? We're now into this area of
Yeah.
interest. This is the area where we're kind of looking long, and if you're looking at the area that pushed, you've kind of got that there, right? So still got our Wombo, which aligns with that. I'm looking for. I was looking for this. I don't think that's valid anymore. Right. I had to adjust my desktop audio for you guys. That's all. Right. There's your Wombo. If it's going to continue with your break and order flow, that's a pretty decent setup. Want to make sure
I'm
this
not
gets
taking this
respected.
continuation, I don't think.
Right. I like the break and order
15's
flow.
not looking
I don't
nice
like
right
that
now.
this failed. Right. This is just sort of for we dropped into this area, which was responsible. I think there was a lot of buying that came out of it, but I would have liked to see a bit of a stronger push here. You got your change in order flow, fair, but we'll see what goes on here.
I don't like how we had such a struggle at those inside highs.
Yeah, I would have rather us seen a closure above the liquidity taking candle as a sign of strength. I do think that we get a bit of a retest up to 200 or so, but I think there'll be a much cleaner setup than this. But I do think this is fair. If you guys are scalping, then aggressive in, aggressive out. You've got your sweep. It's not in your Wombo, so that's something. You've now inversed your displacement on the way up, so that's something to be cautious about. I think there'll be better trades.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this shake out a little bit.
This is actually a decent short if it wants to continue. I probably should be in this for the imbalance and the inverse wombo.
Just gotta go let the dog out real quick. I'll be back.
Okay, buddy. I did take it on Apex, and I'm break even at, what am I break even at? 95.75. This is one of those trades that I expect to be finished business and done at least underneath this low. Don't want to be messing around if it's not. All right, but I'm expecting a flush based off of the intermediate time frames. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Reaction less than ideal. Probably could have taken 15 there. Closing bearish. I'm actually going to cancel that.
Order canceled.
Cancel that target as I think we get a bit more of a flush than expected. If we do take this low at 71, I don't want to be out for just 20 points. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yikes. Lots of interest. I do think we run them out, but starting to get a little concerning if we can't. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Wow.
Yeah, buddy. Did I hear you say you take that short as I was leaving?
I did on Apex. It's more of my, like, as you know, I kind of scalp a little bit more on there, whereas I like to trade a little bit more proper. That said, I canceled. I could have taken 20 points and I didn't. And if this validates that I'm in a little bit of trouble, and I'll probably cancel this out in 14 seconds. I should have just taken it in there, man. But I was expecting this to really have follow through. So giving it a little bit of extra room. I like that response, but we'll see where this goes now. Okay,
Order submitted.
flat. Doesn't invalidate, but just not what I wanted to see, and I should have just kept it at 20.
15 close below here.
Yeah, I don't think that it's a long by any means. It's just not what I wanted to see.
But now we might see that run back up that we were looking for the big short. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I like that 240 level. Maybe a little higher if we can get back up there for a short.
Yeah, we got it. Valid. And then this was not a swing. This was your non-structural swing. We talked about that yesterday too. Right, I think we get another push down, whether it does something like this. And then if that fails, then you're looking for a cooker. But I think that has to happen.
See what kind of response we get here.
Brutal rally. Or not brittle, I should say. It's just not what I wanted to see off of the first 15 minutes.
Choked, I gave up 20 points on that when I was like, should have just sold up at that inside when I was saying I should.
What do we got here? 74, 75 doubles? They're playing around with their food for sure, aren't they? Pretty well defended. I'm going to avoid. I think that I'm still leaning lower. Just not really seeing anywhere that I could justify sort of an entry. I like this fractal that really sent price lower, but we've already mitigated it now, and we failed to break this low. So not wild about risking off of this high by any means, even though I think that it still holds and we go lower, taking these equal lows and then this one. Just don't want to be hitting it for like the last move either, you know. No, here it comes. Is it? Is it? 950? 950 sweep into? Possibly. Sweeping one way or the other. Or it could be the initiative move. This forming an SNDR maybe. There it goes. Why couldn't you have done that like 10 minutes earlier?
$61 is the low of that little SNDR.
Yeah. And they have 59s.
But this
Let's see what this goes.
this could just melt.
Yeah, we finally ran it out. I think we had this down here of the area that broke. Or was it this one? Yeah, this is your SNDR to hit here. So I'd probably have that as the area. If we're going to sweep anything and finalize. Right. Now you have an area of consolidation, so if we put in even one or two candles here and then blast above this, then you've got something structurally to risk off of as well. We don't necessarily need to be in on the falling knife because of the time of day. We got your 950 move, right? We've got a lot to clean up higher. I think we just swept this out, so that internal failure is concerning, but we have a lot higher if she wants to run, right? If you're looking at your 15-minute time frame. Other than what we just swept out, well, I suppose you could argue that as well. We've actually been taking a lot of liquidity on the 15. We've been taking a lot of that.
Now that the 15 is broke below, we could come up and take those inside highs again at like 224.
Yeah, I'd love this, especially.
Yeah.
Especially that one. I think that one's on the menu unless we get some failure in this fractal that we just hit right here.
Yeah, where is that on your chart? Yeah, 220. Yeah.
Get rid of that. That already did its job. We're still inside of this intermediate time frame fractal. Not long, but concerned short, at least. We'll see. We'll see if we get an attempt to go lower, which is just yuck. In which case, I'll hit it.
Order submitted.
Was not quick enough on both. Get back down there. Get back down there.
Order submitted.
Maybe a little bit further than that. Let's try that. This is more just getting the area we expected failed. Up we go. At least for this 95. At least for this 95. This could chop around inside this consolidation. I think that's fair. But if it's going to be explosive, then I'd be quite happy to let this ride. Quite happy to let this ride. Right? And the idea is this. You see it now.
Oh, I got you beat by a couple handles, brother.
Of course you do, you.
I'm in at 76, 75. But I'm going to go stop the break even because this should run up there if we're going to go.
95s. Right, we've now cleared the manipulation leg. Ideally, we get a little bit of, like, I'm surprised that there wasn't some form of bear bar in here. So I'm just kind of waiting to see. But if we just accumulate more shorts and then run, given that FOMC minutes are this week, I think that people will be betting against severe volatility one way or the other. Likely why we're getting such a strong shove from this in the first place. See if we get a lift here. Let's go, lads. Let's go, 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 let's go. I'll probably just take this at 95. Unless we fail here, then I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm going to be quick to exit here as well. Like, if this doesn't push right away, I'm out.
New 5-minute candle. If it's going to take, it's going to take in the next minute. Gotta push. Gotta push, gotta push, gotta push. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Looking like a reversal here. Ideally, we sweep and fail underneath one of these strong candles, which would be ideal, but you see a little bit of a different dance in the order flow. Strong move. See what that yields.
I got stopped there.
Oh, that low. It actually did close underneath. Shoot. Not wild about this anymore. Probably should have taken that. Not invalidated, just not what I wanted to see with that valid high. I wanted to kind of see a little bit more of a shove. Right? Still liking this.
That looks all
Well, you
right.
got 3 minutes. This has got to close bullish. Just not really wild about the order flow, right? We haven't tried to attempt this high at 95, which I think is still on the menu. Just not happy about the delivery. Right? Now, okay, that was probably... My stop will be below this candle now at 72. That was a tap into the area that swept liquidity. Everything kind of screaming at me just to take it off break even here, and I think that's valid. I just really liked the wombo and the push. But I just don't like the order flow. I'm going to take that off there. We'll see what this goes. There'll be better trades. Should have taken 15 points in retrospect. Saw the failure coming in here. Was just a little slow on the trigger. Right, and we're starting to see the increase in volatility now as everybody starts to realize what's going on. It's these grinds that are really tricky for everybody, isn't it? Right? Just no real... I mean, this didn't break order flow in fairness, right? So short, 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 and now maybe long, but then this grind down where we're trying to figure out exactly what its objective is. Nasty business. Lots of buying going on, but just not generate anything. Last area to be saved was the buying that started up here. If we sweep them all out, I think we take this low though at 54s. Right? If you're not involved, you don't really have any reason to be involved. Wasn't the lift I wanted to see in there. Wasn't the lift. And probably should have been a little bit more aggressive taking profits in there when I had them. Still significantly up, but not as much as I'd like to be, obviously. $10 a.m. candle. Now what do we get? New 4-hour opening. Trading higher. If this can close above this, I think you get a bit of a squeeze. And we just weren't ready yet when we hit that in here. Failure to trade above that and close, I think we cascade lower and we take this low 54 that we were talking about. We'll find out pretty quick. Still liking the wombo area that we're in. Not seeing any real aggressive movement down. That's not surprising with FOMC. Yeah. Patience is right. Patience is right. Should be able to see what you want before it unfolds, and then you just execute. Some of you may very well be sitting short because our order flow is short, but if you don't see this low taken, you start to see violence. Right? I still want to see a body closure above this. And this is a sign of that sort of U-shaped reversal we were talking about. We'll see.
That was a strong rejection there.
That was a ridiculous rejection, actually.
Order submitted.
Right? I was still in that on the others. I took it off there for sure. And then we should take this, and then we got our 46 low as well with the flat bottom. And you're seeing the semblance. We like that 15-minute sweep fail. This was red to green, but obviously a strong closure telling us what the higher time frame wants to do. We're still inside of this SNDR from everything that happened at close. Right. So if we're involved and we aren't seeing what we want, ideally we can get out here. The aggressive stop is underneath this low where Mikey took his profits at. Valid. Right? But this also has to achieve something now, and the idea is that this trades underneath this. And if it can't, and we get some form of validation, you see it tried twice. There it goes. Right? 1003, maybe a nice brief trade back up into this fractal here. 59s or so. Didn't quite get there. I'm going to sit on my hands, obviously. All right, we've now taken that 46 low. In no rush to get involved after this. I want to let it shake out. But personality of the chart, every spike down has been met with significant covering. Spike down, significant. Spike down, significant. So we'll see if there's a change in personality that occurs here. I think that it's pretty fair. Don't really like that we're hanging out here. I do like that we've taken liquidity, right? I just don't want to catch a falling knife. This is much better now. Stop underneath the lows. Right? Minimum target for this would be this high at 57. Minimum target. This is just a brief little scalp. We'll be break even now if it comes back. No, I'm just going to take that there. Not what I wanted to see happen at all. Inside sweep, closure in there, showing a little bit of weakness, but inability to deliver to that imbalance. Was still looking for a straight to that fractal, just higher time frame movement, so don't want to be involved in that. Not ideal. Not ideal.
We got another daily low down at 103.
Yep. My short looking quite beautiful from 198. My goodness.
Where's the manipulation at?
Hindsight 2020. Hit that 1001 sweep short. All right. You hit this one. Beautiful. I'm happy that that worked out for you, son. Don't really think we have anything. I think we already took out that SNDR. My goodness, this is slow today. Right, I'm not wild about trading to the origin without a sweep in here, but you might get a little bit more of a bounce. Yeah, these will be very, I mean, hindsight, yes, great, you know. Not one bull bar since 955. But how easy is that to hold through, right? This low failed, like we failed here to take this low here. We actually had to go up higher before getting smacked. That's challenging to hold through in real time, as much as it looks great in hindsight, which is why I sort of advocate for back testing on NinjaTrader or something where you can see the actual orders, mimicking how price truly behaves rather than sort of a bar by bar trading view wise.
I got a manipulation pulled, and then we're in the 2.5 right now. So I might see a little retrace here, and then the 4.5 is at the previous day low at 103.
Yeah, we're right in that 4.5 right now, actually. This would be beautiful to trade back in. We haven't even, other than maybe that, right? We did validate a 5-minute zone here, but we already traded back into it. So if we really flip bullish on your intermediate time frame, this is going to take all of these. It might leave this 221 high, but we definitely take all of these inside ones.
Yeah, I like up to like 199.
Yeah.
I think would be a good spot to.
First
see, but we might need to take that
we got
one.
smacked. We not good?
Some people are saying they lost connection in the YouTube.
Is YouTube still up? It's not. Let's see. It's frozen for a bit. Lovely. Lovely little internet connection. What could possibly go wrong? A little bit of climactic action. People will be taking a little bit of profits in here. I don't think anything really doing until we get something a little bit more significant. Nasty business here in the 4.5. I think that could have been a credible low, but obviously a higher time frame has other designs. And I mean, we were talking a little bit about this yesterday. This is pretty much what you want to see in terms of a higher time frame reversal. It's a minute behind. What time is it out on here? It's 10:11 on my trading view. What's going on here? Interesting. Yeah, I just went to it and it's about 5 seconds behind, but what does this look like on the higher time frame though? In hindsight, yes, I was expecting a little bit higher off this move, but we've got this and now this is your second distribution. So in reality, if this really wants to continue lower, I'm not really seeing that urgency. Now we are on the 4-hour, of course, but finally starting to see a little bit of displacement occurring on your lower time frames. Right? Possibly building an SNDR in here. But This isn't really the death drop that I was expecting. Hey, Stallone, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, they certainly did.
Like at 52 here.
What's that?
See what the reaction is like at 52 if we make it up there.
Yeah, I liked this area. I'm so surprised that we had a knife through, but if we're looking at kind of where the market really decided to puke, you've got kind of this.
Same type of thing though when we're hella bullish, right? Like if just blows through those areas if the higher time frame's in control, trying to make moves.
I like the idea of taking this if this continues to be weak. In fact, I
Yeah.
don't think I'm gonna hop in if this kind of, if we get an inside sweep here, I think I'll hop in. I think that the movement is valid, but it's probably not going to give the ideal type of confirmation. In fact, I might have just missed it. We'll see. Right? I don't want to be sitting here trying to be perfect, understanding whereabouts I think it should go and why. I need a third monitor for these streams, man. I got the chat on the right. I've got 5-minute chart. I've got OBS. Need another monitor.
Gets hectic, man.
Yeah.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
There's your inside sweep. Now we did trade into this. I can understand that. Not really wild about the confirmation, in fairness, looking at this being an inside sweep. If it doesn't sweep, then we're not really looking at this bar at 47. But I think this is a valid, we've kind of got your internal structure forming here. We definitely need to take this high. I like the internal movement now. We need a little bit of lift.
Yeah, let's see what happens at that 5-minute inside high.
Right, just to clarify what Mikey's talking about, he's looking at the imbalance here at 52. Here we go. Just took the inside high. If we fail drastically and kind of come back into the prior candle, I'm probably going to take this off. Not really going to sit around for this. But I like the idea of trading up to 52s, obviously. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There's our 52s. I'm just going to take that off there.
Order canceled.
And all accounts happy. Bum, 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 bum. Right, so the idea, just to kind of go over it again, you've got a draw on liquidity. If we're going to head lower, we'd probably trade back up to the wombo. But what do we need in order to actually have that as an idea? You need to have some form of failure on your lower time frame. So you got your nice little sweep here. We trade into the imbalance. We expect this imbalance to deliver lower prices. We don't get that. So now we're looking at what's the response here? Strong, okay. Sideways, we then sweep and fail, and then we sweep inside and fail here. This is the confirmation type entry for the movement. So now you've got multiple objectives. You've got this high, right? Flat top candle in effect, right? You got your wombo combo higher, and you've got your 5-minute imbalance, which we just tapped into. So if we want to sell off, we're going higher to go lower, lower to go higher, right? The crux of the market. Over and 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 over. How is this new account doing? 935. Not bad. Not bad for a day. Brand spanking new. Get to sit on my hands with this.
Be interesting to see how this prints over the next little while here, because if we come down and take that previous day low around 230, then I think we get good longs up to like 200 or like a good retracement. You know what I mean? Like that 1030 kind of.
Yeah, could be, absolutely. I don't like this for a credible low.
Oops. Yeah. And then it could be setting up the 15-minute low for like that sweep, you know what I mean?
Why is this not? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button, that's why. Look at that. 5-minute imbal into the wombo combo. That's a quality setup as well. Probably should be short, actually, especially on that nice little aggressive sweep. When this candle went green to red at the open there at 53, your stop goes above. That's 4 points of drawdown. At least the flat bottom. At least the flat bottom. But your idea is that we've got to validate a high. If we can validate a high, then we trade back in and see you later. And that entire premise is that we need to take this low at 18. Now it's nasty that we might leave this given that we have FOMC. Notorious for generating and keeping liquidity to be ran on both sides later. Later. Look at this. Nonsense. 40.75, 41, 41. Good idea though, Zach. Sometimes we don't get that follow through. Is this going to validate these grindy bars? Grindy grind.
There you go.
Boom. Good trade though, Zach. Beautiful entry. Wombo, and that wombo is drawn, it looks pretty clear I suppose from this, but the idea is we're drawing it from the energy of the move on the 5. Consolidation, finally smack. So we draw it from that high. Not here, not there, not here. Those of you guys that are ICT bros. Get your manipulation leg. Validated a high. This will be an area that buying stepped in. For the same reason that we were looking at this wombo here. Now, I mean, this is a very different idea, and the reason is because we are bearish in terms of structure. We validated a low, cool. We're now trading back in. Right? And this very well could trade up to 49 or higher, who knows. But if you're taking into account probability, you don't ideally want to take these intermediate time frame confirmations on 1 minute structure where it's bearish, right? This move happened. Its job is to validate this low, and then if continuation happens, cool. Now we've got internal structure if we can break above this, right? As a result, I'm not involved in this. I'm still expecting lower, and the 15 I think supports that. The 5 minute supports that. We just tried validating a 5 minute low. Nope. Nope. Right?
There's such a nice shelf, like trend line liquidity up to 200 there. So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we get back there. I think we get back to at least there at some point today, but like where does it come from? Like you're saying, if we can close above that 5 valid low candle, then I'd look to get on board the bus up to there, but I'm more inclined that we're going to take these lows around 1030 and then we get to move back up into the range.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then the extension that I had pulled was 4.5 is like 299 or 299 to 286. So that's resting right below that previous day low.
Ooh. Tomorrow's the big day too, lads.
Is it Thursday already tomorrow?
Tomorrow, man, yeah. This week's flying. It's because it was a short week. Monday holidays throw me off.
Yeah, true that.
You know, although I do like people say like it feels like a Wednesday. It feels like a Wednesday. It feels like a Thursday. What does that mean? What does a Wednesday feel like? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't even make sense to me. It feels like Friday. It feels like it should be the end of the week and it's like Tuesday. What do you mean it feels like Friday?
I know what Saturday and Sunday feels like when the market's closed.
Yeah, despair, hey? Despair.
That's the only day that's different, really.
You got me in your ear. Well, not lately because we've been planning all these events, but knocking on your Discord door at 6:30 in the morning. Let's get it, man. Let's look at some charts. It's big brains. Let's go. Want to review the week of the me going long and then not taking anything off? Look at this nastiness. We're going to wait 10:25. No fireworks yet on this, Kevin. Speaking into existence should be middle or end of the week. Who's taking advantage of the ETF sale, by the way, guys? I'm probably going to pick up some more today as well. Did you get them on Trade-Evate or did you get them on Ninja? Still, this is why I'm only using the Dome on Trade-Evate, but still a little bit different for me. Nice. Not a bad Dome in fairness. I'm guessing this is what? This is volume? People use
And
this.
Bull, how do you do that? You just pull up the dome and then you just put it on the side, yeah?
Yeah, so it like comes out where you got like your chart and all your stuff here, and so I exit out of all of that, and then I just have the dome here to execute on. This is old habits, right?
Yeah.
You execute on your chart, don't you?
Yeah, bro. I like that. Just right in front.
Oh, this is giving all the feels Come on, lads. Buy,
Yeah, I
buy,
feel
buy,
like-
buy, 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 buy. No. No. We validated a high here, and then what happened? We tried many times to validate a low, and the market said no. The market said no. Now, if this attempt
Yeah.
to fail is like something like this candle here, this was a significant push down. This, not so much. This, not so much. A little bit of accumulation. Significant shove down. If this gets wrecked, now you're looking at a little bit higher. But you would expect this movement from here at like 49 to take both of these until proven otherwise. Hey, David. What's going on, man? A little bit surprising. Maybe one last sweep before we get our 10:30. Maybe. Maybe. Still sitting on my hands, being extra cautious in this soup until price determines one way or another what it wants to do. The expectation of this would have been failure. If we have to sweep one more time, we'll find out really quick. Probably in a minute here. Very aggressive short if you guys are taking it. And the reason is because you got your movement here and it was immediately bought up. Right? So we've actually validated another low. This high should go as well unless we're inside of a range, which would be gross. Not very clear for me, so therefore I'm managing risk. Managing risk. Which, by the way, is our main job. Those of you guys that have been around here for a while know that. I suppose I can get rid of this Wombo that already did its job for a couple of trades this morning. This was that SNDR. We might still trade back into it. We'll keep that in the back of our mind for 175. And I suppose that 146 low as well did its job. What do you think, Mikey? Fireworks, 10 seconds? Spike and then drop?
Yeah, like I say, like I can't get involved here, especially with like this is just feels like bait to me.
Yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes. Which way? Which way? There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. We got here. Just so I'm not completely amiss. I suppose we already traded into that, so you could be looking at this one now. I think that's a valid pocket as well. All right, just not wild about the 1030 spike into it. 19 seconds. This is getting a little bit crazy. Still liking that low. 65.25, 65.25, 10 point stop. I think so. And that gives us room for a spike up to 75s, I think. I don't really like it to trade above this 80, but it's possible. At minimum, this should trade back into the prior zone, that high being 56. Oh my God. Okay. That was a few hundred bucks
see what
each.
200.
Wow. Okay. It's also why I probably should be trading with stops rather than scaling even on new accounts. That was insane. Gonna sit and wait for that. That was very excessive. Woof.
The old FU candle.
F you while I'm in here. The weird thing is I can't like Like if I did this, then it says multi-bracket orders are not supported. So I don't really know how to get around that other than not having, or having manual stops in. Obviously this is the drawback of that rather than anything else, but wild.
I got my eyes on like 199 here now to see.
The 189 or this one? 192?
199, 199.50.
Fair. I don't know, this is, if it trades back into here, respects, that could be a long. I'm not really going to be interested in that. I think that we do go lower to this low. That was just very, very nasty of getting a hold of. I think that was like a $400 loss per. Gave back a couple of good trades this morning for profit. Yikes. I'd still be cautious on longs, but if this area respects, I think that's fair. I don't really like it that it's not going to trade back into the prior zone if it bounces from here. And still looking at the lows, just obviously had to squeeze me out nastily. You've now got your trade into the prior zone. I don't think this is going to validate. I don't really want to chase too far, but see if we get a drop into 63 and then a 10-point stop. If. And the idea is that we can't validate a high here. That's very important. I doubt this comes back down now. Wild. If I don't get tagged in, I might have to hit it at 65. We'll see. Yep, hitting it there. Looking for the inside high at 90s. If we stab into here at 61 and we failed, then I might consider adding as we trade back through. And the idea is the failure to make a valid high. Internally, we've now completed our objective of trading back into the prior zone. This should lift above this 88, ideally. If we start failing above here at 78, I might take this off. We'll see. I don't want to get suckered into thinking that this is a higher time frame push just yet. It very well could have just been a blast to cover. We're still looking at the low of day. I'm, however, taking the opportunity of failing to go lower, which means we have to go at least a little bit higher. I'm probably not going to give this much room. Leave that there.
Five's a little tricky here. We like displaced up, but we also failed that candle too.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy. I think the trade could have been a little bit better in terms of getting 10, 20 points in there, but we'll see what this goes on. Looks like we're going to validate a high now and then make a decision. Ugh, that's gross. Perfect idea with the short, obviously got squeezed on just a blip of volume up 20-ish points.
This is where all that volume came in, so.
Yeah. 15-minute high at 80. Got wrecked so far. Like that was the attempt at least. Maybe not. Maybe not. We swept above it. Came back in. Gross. If we get an internal failure, I'll probably take another stab for a short though. Given the 15-minute time frame, if we can fail internally, not really wild about the bullish structure, but I think major attempt to rally here failed. 174 didn't quite get there. This feels like a blip, which then really equal highs by a tick. The entire premise of any sort of short would be number one, that we can't validate an internal low for the same reason that we got blasted through here, but also the 15-minute failing. That looked nice. Let's see what we got. Right, and probably going to 79, 75. Oh, that just took me out, you schmuck.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Two seconds. Does this validate? Oh. It actually did validate by a tick, didn't it? See what we got. Immediate follow through.
Order submitted.
Just gotta go here, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you're in trouble, and we're heading to 200.
No, I'm gonna take that one. Probably could have taken a few points in there after that validated. The idea was that it failed here and then dumped. This will be nasty if it can't, but it is what it is. We'll take a quick pause just to do an internal check. I don't really like a couple of trades in this soup. I think that's low probability that we got such a spike down that validated and then ran, but doesn't really matter. Right, but that's 3 trades in the last, what, 9 minutes? So just gonna take a minute here. Kind of just let it play out a little bit, reanalyze if we're going to get a spike up and then die versus if this is actually initiative buying that's going to shove this, and then we start taking major liquidity in here. Let's get that off, and I think that high is valid. Got a nice, like Mikey mentioned earlier, you've got nice liquidity above all of these if it wants to continue up. You kind of got that imbalance tap here. We've now closed significantly above here. We're continuing to shove.
The like open, previous day open is like at 24 too, so there's two spots I got my eye on now, like that 200 level, and then also the 24 high. Maybe we get some kind of like sort of protected a high sweep on the lower time frame, but we'll see when we get there. I'm gonna top my coffee up before we get into these areas and how to get busy here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We got a new 15-minute candle in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This has not been ideal. The interesting thing about all of these is that we tend to chop around, and they get a lot of people interested in the continuation. And then we don't take it, and we end up having like a blast down. This will be interesting to see if that happens. Right, if we leave this high at 88 and we come back down. Playing with their food. There she goes. I think. Did I take it? By a couple of ticks. Now what? Got everybody in short? I think they have to go do a little bit more to get people interested in shorting this. But we'll see. Sitting on my hands, obviously. Now we're talking 1, 2, we'd expect a third, and then maybe even a fourth, and then that would be sort of your wedge failure if we get this. Right? And then you might get that change in order flow. The danger with this trade to short is that it might not arrive if we're going to deliver off of a higher time frame what we wanted. Now, we talked a little bit about FOMC. These lows usually get left. Why? So we can run them later.
I'm back.
Hey, buddy.
Did the minutes come out already?
I don't think so. I think that's later
Or what
on.
is the news today is like at 2 or?
Usually if FOMC is at 2, let me triple check here. What day is it today? Wednesday, 2 o'clock, the meeting minutes. And then we've got unemployment tomorrow and PMI on Friday.
Spicy.
Accelerating through. Now what? Do we have any wombo at all? I don't think we really do. We kind of blasted through this one, which is a little concerning. About to take that entire imbalance. If we trade up to 203, which it looks like it's on the cards, we'll find out. But not a lot. Not a lot. Not a lot to be done. That was gross. the idea of this being an invalid
into
high,
this
and then just got
inside
dumped
here
before
now.
the rally. They got me. They got me good twice today. They got me good twice today. That short was actually really brutal, giving back the hard fought morning. My goodness.
Midnight opens way up there.
You think that's where we're headed? We got here.
No, I'm just kind of.
This is probably like. Yeah, that's even a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Yeah, not really a lot that I like out of that. I think the retracement leg is probably your best bet. Right, so a little bit higher for 2.5. Right, 1075. Yeah, ideally to the 17s.
Yeah. I got an OTE pulled up here and that we just tapped into the middle of as well. Just like on this range from earlier,
A pocket?
which is like, yeah. From just on the 1 minute from the 938 high to the 939 low. Just like the OTE to this range, just because I like that liquidity.
Oh, you're talking
on the
about like
inside.
this?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I suppose that's fair where the major buying or selling stepped in.
Yeah, exactly right. From the morning.
See if we validate a high and then trade back into the prior. $10.50 as well. I'd be a little surprised if we didn't get one more shove. And where that's likely going to come from, I think we don't really have a lot in here. I think this was pretty strong movement up. So we kind of look at where the expectation was of failure, and you can look at that, I suppose. But I don't really see this as a response because we actually validated this low here.
Be interesting to see if this 15-minute candle sweeps this inside high now.
Be interesting to see what it
And
goes.
we close below 200 there. You know what I mean?
No real tight swings. No real tight swings.
I kind of liked how like that 1045 candle, and then it's almost like this could potentially be manipulation up here.
What's our prior zone? 88s. Aggressive wombo if you're in that. But again, the concern, this is an area of interest, yes, but it could be very well a manipulation. Like we have to tap into the 88, which we just did. And now I think you have a pretty valid area to be interested in. If we're gonna run, it's gonna run from here. This will be a short stop as well. The idea of just bouncing into this and trading back up to 200s, and then ideally en route to this extension in here. We did validate a high, and now completed our objective as well. So I don't really want to see this manipulation leg go. Which means we ideally respect this.
199, but I'm gonna take this off here for 15 handles or whatever.
That's a nice short, man. You might get your flush through, right? Would have rather that that was a little bit more of a respect. We'll see what happens when we trade back into it. I'm ideally looking for this consolidation here where this started unloading from. And I want it to in line with our 11 a.m. push as well. But that was a beautiful short, Mikey.
Yeah, because like I had that OTE pulled and we like respected it pretty well, and then we came back down to that 99 level, kind of based, and then failed again. So I just jumped in. Real tight risk.
Not really wild about just tapping back into that area of interest and then continuing lower. No, I don't think that's enough. So that's why I'm still involved in this. But I do think that we probably run this low at 83. Unless we fail internally, of course. We'll find out very, very quick. I think the idea is still valid, but I don't like how this interacted here. Can't really add to a losing position at all, but I would add to take off in here and mitigate. I think that's fair. But this has got to close at least up at the 88s, or else this is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, if this doesn't find some strength here, danger.
I think there goes the 83 sweet. And oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna take that off. No follow through. Okay. And very poor execution by me. I'm gonna leave that alone. Something for me to review later on. This was sort of the tap back in to take that off, but hesitated and paid an extra, what? 6 points underneath the idea of not wanting this. And then just a puke. Hopefully that didn't get you out of your short as well, Mikey. That was a beautiful trade that you took.
No, I got like almost $300 out of it or whatever. I'm happy. This was just kind of the area that I thought we would come to a little earlier. But it's just a good area for a rejection, in my opinion. And now the 15's looking nasty. And I like that too, how like when
That's gross.
like we kind of had that barbecue print and we never touched back in. So I always like to like put those OT eats in the zones when they haven't been tested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. I love that trade.
And then I had that 99 marked off as well, right? So like obviously I wasn't trying to short that aggressiveness, but then once we broke down below it and then kind of like we're holding that 99 level that I had marked off, right? That I was expecting to short from earlier. I just seen that like hesitation kind of failure. It was just like, I'll take a quick little stab at this. Obviously I should still be holding.
A little bit early as well. Yikes. I like that we took everything here and we're probably going to get a bit of a rally back up to the 80s. But we'll see what this ends up doing. If this goes red to green, maybe. But again, this is extremely aggressive off of this higher time frame movement. The 15-minute looks gross. We just swept the flat bottom. We got a good reaction out of it, though. Let's see. Concern will be the imbalance above at 59. I actually just tapped into that, so I might have just missed that. One minute till 11 o'clock. Phenomenal morning, giving back some here. I think a break even and a 2-point loss there, and then a decent loss in here. So not wild about the last few trades that I've taken for sure. That closing bearish is concerning. We like the 15-minute sweep and fail, but we're not really getting what we liked out of this. We could very well trade back up. I think that your pocket in this move would be something not like that. It would be like up here, right in the 70s. Doesn't really align with much. Maybe an inverse SNDR. I think that's fair, but it's a bit of a stretch. What's that?
Oh, just looking in general chat.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah. We took that short too.
What I don't like about this short, I do like the higher time frame movement. There's two of them. Number one is we actually failed underneath our protected low here. So that could very well run back up. Right? The second part is that if we're going to trade into the manipulation leg, we actually got a little bit higher to go at about 83. So this kind of, even though it sort of lines up with the inverse SNDR over here, I think that it's got a little bit higher to go. We might get a reaction from this, but
Crazy 15-minute candle here.
yeah, the
Just
flat
turned
bottom, eh?
Well,
So we
like
kind
we
of swept
took
above,
out.
swept below, couldn't validate it, and now we're coming back up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna err to the side of caution here.
Lift off, maybe. If we're going to fail, this is the area we're going to fail at. What do we got here? 88. 9 seconds, 11 a.m. See if we get a shove in. Not wild about that 15-minute candle or the explosiveness, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna take my
This
stab.
is 5-minute fair value gap. Let's see.
And this will be a 10-point stop. we might take this high at 89. We're certainly getting the response that that the bulls want from trading into here, but we'll see. This is either going to be a very short trip and a 10-point loss, or this is the retracement that we wanted, and I think that aligns with your area of interest here. And this will be my last trade of the morning as well, right? If I'm just offside from the 15-minute time frame, then that sounds about right. Okay. 3 losses to end the stream. Great.
Brutal, bro. Sorry.
Not your fault, man. Just aggressive trade here, obviously aggressive trade in here, and couldn't justify getting involved down here, I suppose. Right? Would have liked the sweep fail, I suppose, off of this, but didn't really get that. Right? But yeah, we'll be back for some more in the afternoon.
That 15-minute candle that was what threw me off.
You had a fire morning. It's nice to see.
Yeah, I had a pretty good morning. Pretty good, brother.
Yeah. We'll have to revisit that and see if that kind of rattled me a little bit. No real excuse, of course, but that was a little bit nasty. We'll see if this runs. The idea, very aggressive short. 15-minute failure, trading back in. Thought we had a little bit of higher time frame movement. FOMC were probably leaving both of these lows for later on. We kind of figured that out even here, and yet that might have not been the best idea to short down for that idea, but especially after the failed protected low. But I got to run the little one to school anyways. This will be gross if it runs from here and it just took me out for the 3rd time, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll see you guys in a little bit, and we'll both be live in Discord as well. Look at this thing. Okay, I'll see you guys in a little while.
Let me know when you're back, bro. I'll hop on stream.
Sounds good, buddy. Bye.
All right, peace.